Hello YouTube, this is Tattooed Alex on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. I believe today is May 17th. So it's been a while since I put out a moto vlog. I've had a lot going on since my dad passed away. Been having some remodeling done on my bathroom on my main level, and have a contractor from hell situation that ended up having to switch to another contractor. So haven't been home a whole lot. Been spending time at with my mom down in Colorado Springs in her condo, since we couldn't have her stay with us during the remodel. So this is probably only about maybe the third, fourth time I've been on my bike since the beginning of the year. I went out a couple of weeks ago, and it was kind of an impromptu ride, and I didn't have my helmet fully charged, and so I didn't do a moto vlog that day. So if there's any Bronco fans out here, here's one of the Bronco training facilities over here on Bronco Parkway. It's during the summer, traffic is just insane because all the people that are setting up over here to watch the Broncos train, but drive through here on my way to work. So one of the things I kind of wanted to talk about was a little bit about that new 48 and that 1200 iron that they just put out. And I've talked about it before, that I'm really not a fan of the way Harley puts out these mid-year releases, just because, if I'm in the market to buy and I purchase something and then a couple months later something else comes out, I would actually be pretty upset about it, So, but I want to talk about the difference between the two. I mean, the 48 is definitely near and dear to my heart, since I had a 48 prior to my Slim, and I still really love the 48. I think it's an awesome bike. I just think if you're looking at it, you just need to kind of look at the type of riding you're doing to know if that's going to be the right bike for you, because it's got that smaller 2.1 gallon tank. I would kind of thinking, if I had to decide, if I was back, bring me back a couple of years ago when I bought the 48, if they had the Iron 1200, which one would I choose? And it's kind of a tough decision, just because I really love the look of the 48. I love the just kind of a beefier front end with the thicker forks, and as well as the thicker tire on that. So some of the things about the 48 Special, I mean, really they just added obviously what I think they call them, like the tall boy handlebars, which I actually do like, and then they added a lot more chrome pieces. And one reason I really like the 48, because I like that more dark custom theme versus the chrome look. So I'm not really a huge fan. If I was going to buy a 48, I'd probably still buy a 48 and just switch out the handlebars, because to me that's really the only difference. Now, if I had to decide between the 48 Special and the 1200 iron, honestly, I think I would probably go for the 1200 iron, just because it's got the bigger tank. For a year and a half I had the 48, and it was awesome. And the kind of riding I did, the smaller tank was fine. I mean, I obviously had to stop and get gas a lot more, but it was a little bit of a pain when I did some other rides, with my brother, with the buddy of mine that had the bigger tanks. That's when it really, I hate to say it became an issue, but kind of a pain, where you'd have to keep stopping for gas about, depending if it was highway riding, still about every, about 80 to 90 miles, you pretty much had to stop and get gas. So one of the trips I did with the buddy of mine, we were out probably, about an 8-hour period. And we probably stopped for gas, about 6 times. So, and some of it was probably more so on me, because we were in some traffic and I was a little paranoid, just because, the more traffic and stop and go you're in, your gas mileage isn't as good as just the highway. So, it was a little bit of an issue at that point. So I think if you know, if I was to go back and decide between the two, if I was looking to purchase Sportster, I would probably go for the 1200 iron, just because I do like the look. I'm not a huge fan of that AMF paint job. It's okay. I mean, it's not huge, but I mean, it wouldn't deter me from buying it either. So I'll say that. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it wouldn't deter me to say, well, you know, I would want, you know, repaint the tank. So, but yeah, I've watched a couple of videos, you know, and reviews on them. Yeah, it's pretty much the same on the 48. The biggest feedback I've seen is it's the same as the 48, or the 48 special is the same as the 48, except for the handlebars and basically the chrome. It does handle the same. I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at doing some test rides this summer, so I don't know if I'll test ride the 48 special or the 1200 iron, just because there are a couple other bikes that I'd like to test ride, but we'll kind of see and play it by ear and see. So I'm curious to know if anybody's out there that has a 48 that's looking at getting a 48, if you're looking at getting a 48 special, or if you have the 48 special, what's your opinion on it? I mean, I think the 48 was an outstanding bike, a lot of fun. I mean, about as bare bones motorcycle riding as you get. But you know, the tank is definitely something of concern, depending what kind of riding you're doing. And if someone says they're just going to ride around town and they're not really using it for anything longer, I would definitely tell you to go for it. But, and I've talked about it in my other videos too about the 48. If you're looking at doing some long distance riding, I probably wouldn't recommend it. I mean, even though the Iron 1200, I think theirs is, I don't recall if it's a 3.1 or 3.2 gallon. That extra gallon is still a considerable amount of extra distance to go if you're looking at it. So that's the main thing I'd say is if you're going to be doing a mixture of both city driving and highway and going a little further, I would probably lean more towards the 1200 iron. And if you're saying you're just doing some, you know, in-town driving, you're not planning on going anywhere, then I definitely recommend the 48 over the 1200 iron. I just like the look of it better. But you know, that 2.1 gallon tank is the one thing that kind of holds me back from really, you know, deciding if I was going back to a Sportster, what I would get. So, alright guys, well, hopefully we're just about done with the renovations or the remodeling, so I'm hoping to be home here within the next week and a half, 2 weeks, hopefully, and start getting out on the bike a lot more, start shooting some more moto vlogs and showing you guys a little bit more Colorado. So if you guys like the video, give me a like, and please subscribe. This is Tattooed Alex. Thanks for watching.